particular moment, there are a lot of users, or you can say them customers. They are trying to uh, search in the Google search bar or Google site, right? For info. Now you might think it like lot of requests, right? Lot of requests will be sent across, right? So in Google, if I take a little bit of a design, so what will happen is you have this web browser, okay, as a user. You have this console. Let's say this is our monitor. So in your monitor, there is Google, right? Here it is Google, and then here inside here you are in Google search bar. Okay. So what is happening? Whatever you are searching here, that request, that request, the Google request will be sent across, of message, right? So with the help of messenger technique, you can call them APIs, right? Or you can call them HTTP request, right? So then what will happen is that data will be go to some CDN, and then through that, I'm just trying to make it high level and abstract. It will go to some server, Google server, where the information will be stored. Now, if this just be a single search, right? If this just be a single search, doing it manually will be very easy, right? Why do we actually need a software developer if that would be just a single search, right? If let's say there is just user one who is performing the operation, so there is just user one. What will happen if instead of this user one, we do have a lot of users, right? Or like more than thousands. So in such cases, doing this overhead manually will be a lot of major tasks. Like let's say you have some computer admin. What he's doing, he's just searching the information and he's trying to go to the Google server where that information is present. Now understand that Google server is a Google database, and there are a lot of databases in the Google, right? So what software developer does is, let's say you have instead of just single user, let's say you have a range of user from 1 to let's say 1 billion, right? So in such cases, what will happen is this will be a lot of overhead, and doing it manually, like doing this whole huge amount of task, is very difficult, right? It won't be possible if you do not have a kind of a automated approach, or you cannot have some sort of software developers involved in it. What software developers will do, they will simply do some sort of mindstorming, or you can say brainstorming, and then from that they will try to make some tool, right? So what will happen is that tool will actually perform these operations rather than doing it manually. And in such way, because tool is so fast and so efficient, it can able to perform these operations quickly, which by which a manual operation, let's say some person is doing that, will take a lot of efforts, right? So it's just business industry invests so much in tech is basically they want to automate the high end and difficult manual task, right? This will improve two things, right? First is performance. Speed will be improved a lot. Second is scalability. You will able to perform like different operations at the same time without wasting a lot of efforts, and then you can also able to serve a lot of customers. So these are two things: performance and scalability. Got it? Which if that would be done by some manual power, right? Manpower or something. That would have taken a lot of time. So that is a very simple why business industry try to invest a lot in tech. Okay, any doubts in this?
No, sir.
Great. Any other one? Anyone else have any sort of doubts?
No, sir.
Great. Thanks. Thanks. Let's move on then. I think. Yeah. So now let's understand why we do have this term called programming. Okay. Why? Where do we get something known as programming language? Programming language. Why is it coming into picture? Understand that. Let's say you have. Let's say there is some person who is speaking French. Okay. Like do not let's just not go for a moment to the programming language. Let's just go to a language. Okay. What is a language? Why do we develop that? So let's say you are going to France tomorrow. Okay. It's a European country. So there might be a chance that you find a lot of people, they are not speaking English as a language. They might speak French, right? And then you are there. You are there. So you as a person, you are from India, you are in India, okay? And then you are speaking English there. You know, as a common language. Now there is a problem, right? If there is some French or a French guy, right? And then you wanted to talk with them, how you would basically do that? Is there any sort of thing you can do?
Hire a translators.
Had a translator. Okay, great. Anyone else have any sort of solution? Okay, a lot of people are saying no. Okay, okay, great. I just want solution, right, guys? That is great. Yeah, we can't do that directly. Of course, we can't do that. But still, I'm trying to ask, like, what can be the solution? One of the solution
You
I
can
got is
use
had a
Google
translator,
Translator, sir.
two translators. Okay.
Google Translator, sir.
Oh, sorry, Google Translate. Great, great, great answer. Great, great, Vishal. Okay. Anyone else have anything other than translator as an answer?
Or maybe one of the person needs to learn the other language.
Great, correct. So what is the way? We got two, three answers, right? One is you will find a translator. That can be a person or a tool, doesn't matter. Someone said it is a Google translator, someone said it can be a translator, a human translator, right? You might have seen like there are some uh, foreign people, like there are like some people who used to translate whatever our PM is speaking, right? Because PM is not that fluent in English. So they might have this translator which actually travels with them when they are going to some abroad countries, right? So that can one of the things that can probably help. Second thing is like you can have, let's say, one of the Indian can actually learn a language, or like if we can encourage this French guy, please try to learn like English, okay? And then we can communicate, right? Since there is a common language. But if these two are not the case, then there might be a chance or scenario that we can't actually basically communicate with each other. Third would be I would also suggest one more. They can use some sort of expressions or sign language, right? Expressions or sign language. So that is one more option. Right? Anyway, we need some sort of approach to basically communicate with that person. So similarly, there is this computer. If we take the same analogy which I have discussed here, now let's understand. Let's just take this French guy as our computer. Okay. So let's just make one very simple. I'm just calling this monitor only the computer. Okay. So this is my Mac, let's say. Any computer you can take. Okay, and then here you are. Here you are. Okay. Okay, just bear with me with some drawing. Okay, why it's not happening? Yeah. Okay. Anyway, this is like some person you can take. Okay, don't worry. I'm not demeaning anyone. It's just some person we are taking. Like, let's say this is our programmer. You can call it this guy is a coder, or you can say it's a human. Simple. Now, this human has a task to actually perform some operation from this computer. Why? Because it has two options now. If this human can go to some other person, okay, and say, "Can you please do my work, do my job?" Right? So that person might take hours to solve that, right? Or the second thing is that person will go to the computer and say, okay, just let's just make one software tool with the help of computer. And then that computer can take information since it is a machine. It does not have that, what I can say. It does not have the demerits of getting burnt out, right? And it can perform operations really quickly, right? As a human, we do have like a drawback that we need time to time timely rest, right? But as a machine, as a computer, it does not require any sort of rest, right? Timely rest. You just need a battery power. If you just turn it on every time, your computer can perform the operation. So now the thing is, this computer understand everything in binary, right? You might know that everything here is binary, similar to this condition. Here, the French guy only knows French. Similarly, our computer only know binary. But this as a human only know English as a language, suppose. So how can we actually have that, uh, talk or a communication between the computer so that I can give instruction to the computer on top of it so that it can perform the operation which I wanted, right? So in such cases, we build something known as in order to ease the task of our human or of my person which needed to perform some task with the help of computer, we came up with the idea that instead of a simple language we will develop something known as programming language, right? Which will nothing but it will convert whatever syntaxes, whatever rules we have defined in the programming language to machine language, machine instructions, so that the computer or the machine can easily understand it and then try to solve and give the output to the user, right? So that is uh, that is why we came up with this programming language as an idea, right? Does it make sense, guys? Great. Thanks, Krishna.
Yes, sir.
Great. Thanks, Pandi. Thanks, everyone. Thanks. So, yeah. Okay, great. So this is how programming language came into picture, right? And then once we started with some, very complex languages, something known as Fortran, or you also might know first computer, okay, is abacus, right? If you have ever seen an abacus, right, it's just a table of bits, right? It's sort of some table format, right? It's a kind of a rectangular table format